CBAI.
Hello there. My name is Cam with CBAI. Thanks for joining me today. I am happy that you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about the new editor that Suno has released. This seems pretty recent. And this is essentially like a layout and update of the replace section and crop features, but with a bunch of more features added in there, and it seems a lot better layout. So I'm excited to show you that. Let's jump into it and get in there right away. So you're going to be wherever you want to go in your song. Go to the song, and the easiest way to get there is to click on the edit button that's now there. So I'll do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. It may just jump straight into the screen depending on if you've loaded it before, or it will give you a loading page first. It also may show you this page when you first log in, and it's just it has a little video of someone using it, and then it gives you some tips here. I'm going to dismiss that. So that's one way to get there. Let's go back and show you the other ways. Another way to get there is if you go to the dot 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 next to your song, click on it, and then go to edit, and you can either choose crop song or replace section. It's going to default to whatever one you click. If you click crop song, obviously it's going to take you to the crop song section in the editor. So let's try that. Show you it does the same thing. And now I'm up on the crop page instead of the replace section. Lastly, if we go back one more time, if you were actually viewing your song like this, there is no edit button anymore, but you can go to dot 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 the same there and then find the spot you want to go to. And so I've got a few that I want to show you and demo out here today. Let's start out with this one. So I've got my duet here that I've talked about in another episode, and let me show you how much better this tool is, especially if you've got your tags laid out in a certain way. It seems to be much better. So I've got verse 1 male singer, verse 2 female, chorus male and female, etc. But the main thing is that I've got the verse, chorus, and bridge laid out pretty clearly in this song. So it picked up very well on that. So well, let's go in there and start editing or replacing the section. As you can see, this one, it's going to give me a loading screen first. So I'll wait for that. All right, check it out. This is really cool. So let's go through and look at the different views and talk about it real quick. Up here, you've got lyrics. So these are all the lyrics for your song. And very cool feature that they've added to this is that those tags that you use that we just talked about, those are actually showing up in different colors based on the section of the song. So the verses are showing red, chorus is in purple, and the bridge is in orangish yellow color. The same thing is true down here. I don't know the formal name for this area, but it has two sections, really, more than two, but you'll see the line here that shows you the section of your song, and it's intelligently picking up on the tags that you use to divide your song. So that's really awesome. And then it's giving it colors, and those are matching exactly what you have in your lyrics. And then underneath, you've got this little wavelength sign. So this is showing you the audio that you have for your music. Uh, let's also look at the features here. So it's going to say drag the edges of the selection to pick a span of time to replace. So you could just go along if you want to replace your song. And as you can see, as I'm moving this along, it's actually highlighting up here the words that it's tagged within the software to know what section you're at. So if I did this section, I'd be trying to replace all, or at least analyzing this section of words. Another thing you can do is if you click outside of the box and you just kind of pull it up into it and drag it, you can drag and pull like that. Click and drag, that'll work. All right. If you click within your lyrics real quick here, it will get rid of the colors. So if I do that, it goes kind of back to my thing. And then if I go back down here, it'll re-highlight them again. Over here, you have your timestamp. So this just tells you how far into the song your selection is. So it's starting at 35.72 seconds, and then it's going to a minute and 27 seconds, .94. Um, Then also you have the settings button here. So these are your replace section settings. So this is a new thing. There was sort of kind of this features in the old version because you could check a box to do certain things, but this is more developed, I would say. So number one is you're probably going to be using this a lot if you're trying to replace lyrics. Is you want to make sure you check keep duration, which as it says will encourage replacements to maintain the timing of the original selection. If you wanted to get rid of the words in the music, like for example, sometimes Suno will it'll just generate random blah 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 like music words that don't mean anything in a language, or perhaps it has a section where you didn't want them to talk, etc., etc. You could click instrumental, and it would discourage lyrics or human speech in replacements. So you're trying to get rid of something, but add music in there. So you could do different things depending on what you wanted. And then lastly, we'll talk about this button later. It's manual lyrics replacements, and as it says by the little note you can see down here, it adds a step to fine tune which lyrics are replaced. I've tried playing around with it. My understanding of this is really is it's like helping you visually get a more zoomed up picture of your lyrics, and we'll try it out later. All right. So that's kind of your like wavelength and your music section area. You have also down here the picture of your song, the title of the song, where your little line timestamp is at, where the play bar is at. Down here is 49 seconds. The total length of the song is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. And then it has your like avatar, your username here. You have a play and pause button here. And then you have zoom in and zoom out. So if you were like doing maybe a smaller section and you just wanted to look at something for some reason, you could zoom in or zoom out. This will reset the zoom back to the all the way zoomed out. And then you can actually control the volume here if you wanted of your music, just for control there. Um, Over here you have undo and redo buttons. So if you start going in and trying to edit your lyrics, so maybe I'm just in here and I fat fingered it. So now I didn't really want that. I'm not stuck there. I can just undo it. Or maybe I did want that. I could put it back. Pretty simple. You have a dot 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 here. So maybe you really changed all your lyrics and you really just got lost, and now for whatever reason, maybe you even like did the undo button, and then you did some more, and then you did like other undo and a redo, etc. Now you're kind of like lost. You could reset the lyrics, and then it'll just put it back to where they were originally. Okay, and then over here is styles. So it's populating over the style of my song from my original prompt. So maybe you wanted to put a section of the chorus where it sounded more like rap, or maybe you wanted to just have a bridge that had a different sound. You could try this and see if you could get either the lyrics or the instrumental to be a little bit different for that section. I anticipate I'll be keeping this the same most of the time if I'm doing replace lyrics. Again, exclude styles. This is also in the Suno prompts that you're used to. If you want to keep out some kind of style, maybe you explicitly don't want it to do rap, or maybe you explicitly want to avoid screaming or something. You know, like if it's doing that in the prompts and you don't like that, you can do that here. And then in the edits area, this is a nice feature. All of the editing you're doing, all of the generations that you've created, we're trying to replace lyrics. These are going to show up here so you can go through and do that. So let's try to pick a section and do a little bit of editing. All right, so let's go in and try to edit the verse a little bit. I have a couple of other videos on replace section, and I feel that it's pretty hard to get this to work right if you try to replace large sections of your music. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it does seem to work better if you try to replace a word here and there. So keep that in mind. The replace section feature overall is it's can be pretty hit or miss. I would say it's very much in the early stages of the feature, and you can end up burning a lot of credits trying to fix stuff. So just bear in mind you may be experimenting to do it. Let's try and change sand beneath our toes, salt in the air. Let's try changing it to walking on the sand. Maybe I'll even add a little comma there just for good measure. So that does line up roughly. It helps if your lyrics match, your new lyrics match up somewhat similarly to the old ones. So he said before, if we went back, he said, oh, let's just reset it. Sand beneath our toes. Sand beneath our toes, 5 syllables. Walking in the sand, also 5 syllables. So we'll do that. All right. And you may notice, so it's turning red when I start editing it, but I do need to also make sure that that section is picked. So let's make sure I have enough here. You can start going in and highlighting whatever you want to do. Let's see if I can get enough if I highlight the whole verse. This is also another cool feature. Once you highlight the words, it'll go down here and it'll highlight that section, but it doesn't select it yet. You have to click the select button, and then it'll all be picked. We can see that I've gone from about 1 second to about 19 seconds, so I don't really need to do that much. I don't want it to change my song too much. I believe its limit is 10 seconds, so we've got about 10 seconds there. Let's try that. And then I want to show you one more cool thing before well, you know what? Let's just hit the generate replace button. So we're going to generate our replacements. And now, because I have the setting here, manual lyrics replacement, it's going to give me a new screen. I forgot to click keep duration, so I want to do that. But let's go generate replacements. If you have that button, that third check mark box clicked, it will actually get a little bit, it'll give you this new screen to help you compare to make sure that everything lines up. So you can use this to compare. But while I'm confirming and generating, it's giving me my A and B tracks over here. Now, if you're creating a whole bunch, it's going to keep them all over here for you as long as you stay in the screen. You might be wondering, well, where do these go within Suno? Like where would it show up if I left my screen? They will be in they will be in Suno. You need to go to your library over here, and then you'll see generally in your library, everything that you're doing in here is actually also being popped through on the back end into your library. So that's nice. Up here by edit, this is pretty handy. There's a little menu for you, so you can check here v4, v3.5, and you can select your workspace. So I have my workspace that I'm using to create this video here, how to use the new editor interface in Suno. So it's right there. That's pretty nice. And then if you wanted for some reason to bring up your old welcome screen, you could do that. It's kind of, it's not that helpful of a feature, I don't think, but so we'll get back into our replay section area, and you can see it's all back here. Watch, as if you hit the play button, it'll actually start highlighting the lyrics, which is pretty cool. So watch this. Right here. It will even divide out the sections of the words like this, if you've noticed, which is pretty nice. You can kind of guess where it's lining up your beats of your lyrics and such. Let's check this out. Replacement number 2. Let's see if it worked. Remember, we were trying to change this to from sand beneath our toes to walking on the sand. Let's see if it worked. Alright, so that one got not 100%, got some of the words right. Let's try this one. Walking in the sand, salt in the air, sunset painting skies, hearts. Alright, that one worked. Good. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so you heard it. Play it one more time. She said walking in the sand, not sand beneath our toes. Walking in the sand, salt in the air, sunset. So happy that that worked because this feature is tricky. It's pretty tricky. All right, so what you can do to help Suno, the AI, get smarter is to This one didn't really work, so let's downvote, give it a thumbs down. There's also a new feature here. Shush, lady. There's a feature here with a happy and a sad face, so you can actually give them even more feedback. I am not sure why it always plays that when I click it, but so it's gonna bring up how's the quality of this clip, so you can give more feedback. I do believe that's very valuable. I know they're gathering some kind of data to make everything better, make their software better, technology. So if it's good, just put great audio quality and strong structure, or choose one of these options that describes why your generation did not fit what you were trying to get from it. So I would put for this one, does not adhere to the prompt instructions, because she didn't say the words quite correctly. So submit my feedback on that. And then this one, we'll click thumbs up. That one worked. And then we'll put great audio. All right. And then we sent our feedback, so we're good there. All right, so that one did work. So let's click apply replacement here. And then it'll give you a screen. So just giving it a second to load it up. And then it's aligning the lyrics, loading up my new song here. Very interesting. Something that happens here is that it's kind of like I've moved on. Now my song that I was previously working on is kicked out. Now we're up onto a new song. So if for whatever reason you did want to go back, you would actually have to go into your library and find that old song you were working on. So I happen to know if I click here, you actually have two versions here as well. You can see it was remastered and it was extended. So I would have to go in and find in the library my song that I was working on if I decided to go back to the old one. But since I've got Walking in the Sand, Salt in the Air, perfect. Now I replace that. Let's say I'm good to go. Awesome. That's how you use the replace section area. Again, I have some other videos on this if you're having trouble with it. You may want to check them out as well. The layout won't be exactly the same because they're a little bit older, but I believe roughly the technology in terms of the actual features and the problems that you may come up with are going to be about the same. So check those out if you can't get it to work, and keep trying, keep experimenting. Okay, so another thing that you can do in the editor is now they have the extend feature here available. So if you're not familiar with the extend feature, let's say your song is too short, you can use that to make the song longer, or you could, let's say a lot of Suno songs with Suno, they'll go along, you'll really like your song, and let's say like it'll actually finish the song, and then it'll give you an extra 30 seconds or a minute of like nonsense sounds or garbled music, or it'll change to a piano that's not at all fitting what your real song is. Um, you could crop that if you wanted to, which is over here, or you could extend it if you wanted your song to be longer. You can choose the section that you want to extend from. So as you can see, it says drag the start of the selection to pick a point to extend from. And then let's just say I wanted it to be like just end. And then maybe I'll even put abruptly. So if I did that, I would generate my extension. I don't think I really need the entire section, to be honest. Let's generate extensions here. Probably would help to listen to what the end is. So let's just, while it's generating, let's listen to the end, and then let's listen to what the extended version sounds like. Waves of love on this beach tonight. Moonlit hearts shining oh so bright. In the tide our souls start to dance, falling deeper with every chance. All right, kind of ended abruptly there. Okay, let's try it and see what it did. Moonlit hearts shining oh so bright. In the tide our souls start to dance, falling deeper with every chance. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you get the idea. I extended it, I added a little tag in there, and then it's instead of just doing a straight fade out, it kind of faded out and then it brought in this instrumental section back here. So that would be extend feature. Crop is as it sounds, selects the section that you want to keep. So maybe I just didn't want to keep that ending here. I would select the whole thing and then click crop. This feature is very simple. And then lastly, there's a new one, which is pretty cool, called Fade Out. So just like you're familiar with, if you want to fade out your song. Now, my song already kind of has a fade out. Let's, for example, say I wanted to actually just fade out and get rid of this chorus like this, maybe. So I'll get rid of my chorus, crop it to start. So now I'm cropping. All right, so now my crop has happened. I'll show you. It just ends abruptly right here. So it just ends there. But since that sounds weird, maybe we'll just have it do a little bit of a fade out. Try that. See how it sounds. Let's give that a listen. Lost in you, right where love lies. Waves of love on this beach tonight. Moonlit heart shining oh so bright. In the tide, our souls start to dance, falling deeper with every chance. Okay, so that's my fade out. But other than that, yeah, that's it. Appreciate you taking the time to learn about the new editor today. It's really cool. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like. Leave a comment what you liked about this video. If you didn't like it, share me what you think so I can get better. I'm always trying to improve my channel. Give me a comment for new video ideas if you're a subscriber, you enjoy these. And then lastly, if you're not a subscriber, why aren't you? You need to click that button so we can all learn and make more music together. I love helping everyone get better with their music. So again, this is Cam with CBAI. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one, and take care.